away from their own families. Not to mention the job description, it doesn't call for driving a plow truck, especially in life-threatening conditions. And thanks to all that provided the food, especially hot food, to all those brave souls. Jim, I know that you were one of them. I guess Purcellville's become spoiled in many ways, and it's not often that the public acknowledges the extraordinary effort that the council and staff do for all the citizens, particularly during such challenging conditions where Purcellville was the only town that didn't shut down. It's sad to see the only letters in the paper are what horrible people you are, just lying about everything, and now I read that you cheat and steal too. During one of the breaks in the storm, my wife was a giant looking at us half and half. And next to her was standing an elderly black man who didn't recognize, that she didn't recognize him, he didn't identify himself. But he was looking for the same item. He mentioned to my wife that he doesn't shop at Giant or Bloom normally because he shops in Leesburg, but he was here today because it was safer. My wife asked, why didn't he shop? And he responded, well, because Bloom and Giant don't hire enough blacks or Hispanics. She felt somewhat embarrassed that she had not taken notice herself and thought that she should say something to the store management, but he felt that the result would end up being nothing. Being Black History Month this month, I personally find it distressing the person who lived in Purcellville for several generations finds it necessary to go to another town and grocery shop. I hope when Harris Teeter opens, they'll do better and a far better job. At last month's infrastructure committee, it was mentioned that traffic on South Maple Avenue has more than doubled. That said, I now found folks that on Devonshire Place and Hurst Farm have taken a political position that the Southern Collector Road is not needed, nor should it be completed. These same folks, however, believe that they have an entitlement to impose their traffic on the rest of the town. More specifically, they can cut through Maple Avenue and or 9th Street as their SCR alternative to Main Street. Prior to 1999 and 2000 annexations of both the Hurst and Case Farms, there was a petition that I circulated with 650 names on it, 500 of which I personally received myself. And I will add that prior to these annexation, it was understood that Parks, Police, and the Route 287 Southern Loop Road would be put in place prior to those annexations. Both the 1998, 2000, and 2002 town councils failed to complete what was promised. Now, we have a town council that is willing finally to finish the job. But the county and the Devonshire residents of Hurst Farm want to break that promise. Well, the perfect life in Devonshire Place is about to change. For those hypocrites who believe the SCR is not needed, but find it necessary to cut and speed through Maple Avenue and 9th Street, will find yourselves now on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, and various other blogs with your speed also being recorded. Just this past Sunday at 3:43 p.m., a silver gray Toyota Sienna with plate number JAS8393 traveled down Devonshire Place, down the SCR to South Maple Avenue, headed north past the solar speed sign where it flashed 30 miles an hour. Proceeding down Main Street, turned right, went down to 287 and blissfully and merrily went on their way to the bypass. By the way, in the absence of completing the SCR, each vehicle trip on Maple Avenue that passes A Street to Main and then proceeds to Main Street and Route 287 is traveling 0.6 of a mile further in each direction, adding more than a mile to each trip, using more fuel, adding more traffic to the busiest intersection and the busiest portion of Main Street, in addition to contributing to more air pollution. So if you find you self-important, blissfully ignorant folks in Devonshire Place don't want to be broadcast on the World Wide Web, I suggest that you find another route out of town. And lastly, I'm supporting a town-wide transportation improvements petition, which is right here. And I'll read, and it says, we the undersigned residents of the incorporated town of Purcellville in Loudoun County, Virginia, support town-wide transportation improvements to include Route 69 and Route 7 bypass interchange, Maple Avenue and Main Street intersection improvements, and the completion of A Street, also known as the SCR connection to 287, as recommended and adopted in the 2009 Purcellville Townwide Transportation Plan. Further, we are opposed to any plan or proposal to destroy the last 6/10 of a mile of Maple Avenue, designated a Virginia byway as an alternative to the completion of the Southern Collector Road, as proposed by spokesperson of the residents and president of the HOA of Hurst Farm Subdivision, Ms. Kelly Grimm. And folks, I had to get it out. This is a nice device, you know, it does track in the mobile mode. So not only the video have their speed from Devonshire Place all the way to the end of town, they've been recorded for the world to see. So all you hypocrites out there, don't think we need the road. Your life is just about to change. All I have to say tonight.
Thank you, Bill. Next item.